Hey y'all, I'm back, and you're back. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of OKKK. First of all, I want to thank you all for all of the love, the support, the comments, and for sharing. I cannot wait until quarantine is over so we can really turn up the heat. In the meantime, I decided to create an episode for my girls who've been asking about makeup. And since we're staying at home and I have no glam squad, being a former makeup artist, baby, I am the glam squad. Facts. So I'm gonna give you a little background about my makeup story and show you how I completed this entire face in 10 minutes for OKKK. So my makeup moves date back to my pageant days. Yes, I am a former pageant girl. Held the titles of Miss American United States Teen, Miss New York Preteen. Don't look up the dates. But in those days, I had to do my makeup on my own. So for my very first pageant, my mom said that I had to learn how to do makeup the right way. So she took me down to the MAC store, did a one-on-one makeup class with someone, and that started the journey.
Day one of Puggle Trouble with my assistant, Peaches.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining the team today.
Absolutely.
Hair and makeup, we got it on lock. Even though our hair and makeup isn't done, but it's all good. It's not about us today.
Nope.
It's not about us today. So here we are on set, day one, on some street corner here in Brooklyn. Out here making magic. We got a crackhead and an actor.
Oh.
Well, two actors, I should say. A crackhead and Slick, the director. So we're out here. Day one of 20. Call time 5:45 a.m.
6:45, girl. No, 5:45. You're right. You're right.
5:45. And Peaches texted me at what time was it? 4:45. It was like rise and grind. I'm like yeah,
rise and grind.
Rise and grind. So yeah, we out here. I just have a mint in my mouth just to make sure we don't stink. You know, doing hair and makeup. That's not. And I have on deodorant. You got deodorant too?
Yes, girl. It's smelling good.
She's smelling good. She's smelling good. She's smelling good. My pretty girl smelling good.
All right, so we're gonna get started. I have a clean face, nothing on, not even no lashes. My brows are somewhat done-ish, but don't zoom in, okay? Don't zoom in. I'm gonna start with Badescu. Okay, this is gonna be a facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. So that gives you a little bit of hydration so your moisturizer absorbs into the skin. All right, ready? Don't inhale it though. All right, so for my drugstore girls, I like this basic moisturizer. It's Cetaphil Daily Moisture, SPF 15. I'll use this sometimes under my makeup because it's not super heavy. And if you tend to be a little bit more like on the oily side, this is good for giving you a little bit of moisture and hydration without too much, okay? And my skin has been a little crazy in quarantine. I think it's a little bit of that plus the weather. So this has been working good for me under makeup. I hear you're supposed to go up so your skin doesn't droop. Nobody wants droopy skin. So that's on. Just like that. So the visual learner in me thrived so much in this environment, and a little talent that I didn't know I had turned into a whole ass trade. Bags. All right, so let me take you back to where I was feeling at this time, okay? Graduated, had my master's degree, was so anxious to find a job in broadcasting only for the recession to hit, and I have nothing. So I decided to move to Michigan with DeVal to a smaller market where I could potentially find a job as a news reporter. Nothing was available. I'm sitting on 2 degrees and also dreading having to tell my parents that I don't have a job. Anybody that has West Indian parents know, if it's not medical field, law, it's a wrap. MAC Cosmetics, Studio Fix Fluid, one of my all-time favorites. So back in my MAC days, this was my go-to foundation, mainly because it's full coverage, it's liquid, it's lightweight. So we have that on a Sigma angled Kabuki brush. And I'm just gonna press this on. So the foundation might look a little bit darker than my skin tone right now, but that's because my face is lighter than my body. So if I didn't have on my turtleneck right now, you would see that my body is a little bit more tan. So the biggest issue sometimes with foundation for a lot of people is having a summer color, then a winter color, an in-between color. So I usually have a couple different colors on hand. Depending on the time of year, I might be a little darker, a little lighter and such. So pressing that on, like so. Bam. So I went to the MAC store, got the part-time job. We ended up moving back to New York. I transferred with MAC kind of reluctantly because I had the feeling that I was letting myself down, I was letting down my family, that I did not have a job in the career field that I wanted. But I was never a stranger to hard work. And if it meant that I had to pick up my brush belt and march my ass back down to the mall to find a job in retail, I was gonna do that. And MAC Cosmetics welcomed me with open arms as a part-time artist at Kings Plaza Shopping Mall. Brooklyn, baby, stand up. Not to mention, at this time, we were newly engaged, planning a wedding. DeVal was released from the Detroit Lions. We moved back to Brooklyn in a recession, starting from scratch, no health insurance, mad stuff, all at once.
What?
Hi, Kaz.
I'm
I'm working.
You got all of that out.
I did.
Mimi.
Bye, Kazzy. He's taking the flowers with him as he says no. So there's different ways to apply the makeup. Some people like to do the eyes and brows first, then the foundation. I do that sometimes, but normally with a quick beat, I don't got time to play games, baby. I go right in with the foundation and concealer, because skin for me is very important. As long as I have flawless skin, I can barely have on lashes. Well, no, I do want to have on lashes, but I mean, I would barely have on eyeshadow and all the theatrics, but if you have some good skin, you're normally good to go. Okay, so this concealer that I'm using is one of my favorites right now, and it's by Tarte, Shape Tape. Pretty popular. You've probably seen these in a couple makeup tutorials out there. And I'm gonna go back in with my brush. All right, so for me, if I have one product that can do multiple things, I'm in love. Just using a little concealer now for under the eye, areas that have a little bit of darkness, or areas that I wanna brighten, right? Bam. Looks like I got 8 hours of sleep. So at MAC Cosmetics, I was quickly able to climb the ladder. Started as a part-time artist, promoted to key holder, assistant manager, and I was booming in retail sales. But at the same time, retail hours were a drag. All right, I'm gonna pop in AJ Crimson Artist Kit. Lots of different colors here. I'm gonna now contour my face. Okay, darling. So I know everyone's heard about contour. And I'm gonna use this color right here, nice and dark, to create these shadows. And I'm using the MAC brush. This is the 130. So this is a dual fiber brush, great for cream products. Pop that around here, all around the edges. So seeing as though I have a little tan on my forehead, this is gonna be perfect for blending that out into my hairline. Of course, getting the cheekbones popping, you know. If you can't find your cheekbones, you will after a contour. Ouch. All right, so coming around the outer edges of the face, down into the jawline area. And cream products are really great because you're able to blend. That is the key to having flawless makeup, is blending, blending, blending. Okay. What you think? Now, little contour on the nose. You know, we're not gonna do too much reshaping and too much altering, but a little something, a little help, a little snatch. Never hurt nobody, right? So contouring the nose a little bit, and that is going to be kind of like an extension of this orbital bone here. So going in with some cream real quick. Bam, bam, bam. And then buffing that out. What do you think so far? All right. So skin is almost done. I'm gonna set this now. Anytime you use liquid or cream products, I always set with a little bit of powder. Here I'm using Danessa Myricks, and this is her Evolution powder in yellow, okay? So this is great for going underneath that concealer and setting that. I am using this cute brush here. I think this was a Kat Von D brush that I got, a special anniversary collection. And where you can see a lot of people doing the bake where they're pressing it down with like a beauty blender brush and really allowing it to set, that's cool for like an evening look for me. But doing something quick like this, I just dust on the powder to set it. Takes away that shine, right up the nose, middle of the forehead. And it just makes it super quick to serve the purpose here, right? And a look like this could be easy for, you know, someone on the go, not wanting to do too much. If you like lighter weight makeup, nothing too heavy, that's always a good thing. So through my MAC journey and climbing the ladder there, I was moving from Brooklyn to Manhasset to Long Island as I was a member of the Impact team, working Fashion Week, doing so many different things. But I was missing time at home with Jackson and DeVal. And I felt like before I knew it, I blinked, and Jackson was 1.5 years, and I had very little memories of spending time with him and DeVal at home as a new family. I wanted autonomy over my life and my time. Autonomy over my life and my time. Being able to have creative control over my work with my hands, and make people feel good about themselves was the most rewarding part about working at MAC Cosmetics. Then I got a taste of the freelance life. Wow, I could do makeup but also control my time. I spoke to DeVal one day and I told him that I did not want to work retail hours anymore. He told me,
"Baby, I got you.
I'm gonna get health insurance through Screen Actors Guild and we're gonna be good to go." So said, so done, because my baby is a man of his words. I was able to cut back to freelance and started my own makeup company working on weddings and freelance work. So that's when I started doing weddings on my own, having control over my weekends and my time, and was making more money than I made clocking in retail stores. I am using MAC. Once a MAC girl, always a MAC girl. Hence my black today. And just buffing everything out and blending everything together. So making sure that everything flows. So using a big fluffy brush like this is always nice because you can really get rid of anything that's built up in certain areas, making sure that everything looks smooth, the transition lines are complete. Bam. So we've set all over the face. I'm going to use Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette. Since I've done the yellow under the eye, the mineral powder all over, now I'm just going to set the contour a bit. And I'm going to use the Sculpt one. So this kind of just goes in and confirms that cream that I've used a little bit. I'm not a big blush person per se, but I do love a little bit of bronzer or contour. So today we contour with the brown. So I'm using this like my contour set as well as like a bronzer. There we are. Are you ready for the reveal of my second to last bride of the season? Right before this baby comes? Take a look. Say hi, Terry. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. I can't wait to see pictures.
Did a great
Chad.
job. Photo bomb.
Hurry, love. No, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take.
So you guys have to imagine my delight when I looked at the call sheet last night at about 12 a.m. because I sent it late.
Right.
And I saw the name Adrienne Lennox on my call sheet as Giselle. Let me introduce y'all to Miss Adrienne Lennox, the great. She's the actual one that's launched or helped to start DeVal's acting career. In paying it forward, she had to sit down with him. DeVal, I'm gonna put you on blast because you owe her lunch about 10 years ago.
I know, he keeps saying
He keeps saying that,
and
right?
we've yet to do that.
We have yet to do that.
And
But-
my whole diet has changed now, so I don't know what I can eat.
Well, maybe we'll have to have lunch at your place. So good to see you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm so happy to have done your makeup.
Yes, thank you.
You know, and just popping
Beautiful
here
girl.
today that she just came with all natural.
I just came to
She just
let
came
you
with
know
it,
this is
and
what I
she
do.
was just looking the part. You know, she was studying her character. She was like, "This is Giselle." I was like, "Okay, hello, Giselle."
And sing.
So it's funny, I went to school, got my master's degree in speech communication, broadcasting, and performance, but I still had to learn and build business acumen when it came to a whole nother field. Working at MAC Cosmetics taught me how to be a boss. I have to say that my favorite part of this entire job was working weddings. There was nothing more amazing and heartwarming than working with a woman on one of the biggest days of her life to make her look and feel like $1 billion. Not to mention, working my very first wedding was how I met our show producer, Joshua Dwayne. Big up yourself! Big up yourself, Josh! Big up yourself, Joshua! Big up yourself! Ray, rah, rah, rah. Oh, God.
Yo, you silly kid. Let's jump into highlights, please.
Now, a little highlight. A little highlight never hurt nobody, okay? I want to be shining every which way. However, we want to be strategic with the shine, okay? We don't want to be a disco ball. So I'm going to go in with Huda. Huda is one of my favorite beauty. Their 3D highlighter palette. And today I'm going to use Tahiti. Tahiti is kind of a good tone for me, whether I have a tan or not. And just kind of going right into the areas that I want to have a little bit of that sun-kissed glow. So not too much, using a fluffy brush. Popping that on there as well, right up the middle of the nose. A little in the center and above the brow. Right above the cupid's bow. To give you a little accentuation by the lips. Okay? Done and done. So for me, I'm pretty satisfied with the skin. What would you say? Skin is done. Well, a lot of people like to pick their poison. What's gonna be their feature of choice? For me, it's definitely the brow. So since we're still in quarantine and I haven't been able to see my girl Brows by Nikki, what I'm doing is just kind of penciling where my brows usually are. And then I will go in after with a little bit of concealer just to conceal those unwanted hairs. So using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, this is dark brown. And not overdrawing my brow, but just filling the areas that already have hair or areas that may be a little bit sparse. I'll always use the brush on the end, the spoolie, as we like to call it in the makeup world, because the spoolie helps to diffuse that color. So if you put it a little bit too heavy in one area, you can just kind of brush it out with the spoolie end. Now when it comes to eyebrows, ladies, hear me. Eyebrows should not be twins. They can be cousins, okay? Don't get too obsessed with your brows being exactly identical on each side, because sometimes that in itself can take 10 minutes. And you may not have 10 minutes to do that. So I say, make sure your brows at least look related, okay? They can be cousins, they can be sisters, they could be half sisters. Just make sure that they're kin, all right? All right, here we go. Brushing that on there. I have a stubborn piece here that never really likes to grow in. Brows done. So the biggest thing for me as a makeup artist was working on the craft. It was very important for me to be a sound makeup artist, working on my technique, always improving. That then spiraled into more opportunities that came my way that I never even dreamed of. Just like working on my first Netflix series, It's Bruno. So I was hired as the key hair and makeup artist for the Netflix series at the time called Puggle Trouble, known as It's Bruno, which went on to be Emmy Award nominated.
You almost hit Bruno with that thing.
But maybe Bruno shouldn't take up so much space on the sidewalk.
Hello. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, don't touch my dog.
I ain't never seen nobody so rude.
Hey, man, that's not a dog.
Not to mention that it was amazing to just be on set with amazingly talented people who were all talented in their own respective fields. And it was great to see my work on the big screen. All right, so I'm gonna go back in now with my Tarte concealer, the same one I used for under my eye, and I'm just gonna trim out my brows a little bit, give them a little bit of a highlight, clean up the unwanted hairs, because concealer is gonna do just what it's meant to do. So using a super small brush. This is a Cosette brush, and it's a D230 Cosette. And this is great for right under the brow, giving me a little highlight, but also getting rid of those tiny little hairs that I don't want. And I usually try to stick with the concealer color that's maybe a shade or two lighter than me. Nothing too light, because then the brows will be on glory, baby. We call them halo brows when they're too light. So always make sure that we buff that away. See? Take a close up before I blend this out. So just going in with a fluffy brush, blending away this color, bringing it downward onto my eyelid. And I will use a little of this concealer, kind of like a base for my eyeshadow. So you see, when people are thinking about business, they normally focus on the bag, but it's actually the opposite. If you focus on the craft and the art, the bags are gonna come naturally. Now onto the eyes. Quick eyeshadow job today. I am using ColourPop and this palette here called All That. I think I'm going to start my contour for my eyeshadow with a little bit of silhouette. Using a fluffy brush. This is the MAC 224. And this is going right into the crease of the eye. Fluffy blending brush. This is now giving my eye some dimension. So you can see how the eye looks a little flat after we put the concealer down. Big thing for me is the symmetry. So making sure that they're kind of even on both sides. Same thing with the brows being even. You want your shadows to be even too. So right now we can see the differentiation between the brow bone, the crease, and the eyelid. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a light color now. Let's do a little come through. A little shimmer on the eyelid. And I'm just putting this on the inner crease of the eye, or the inner lid rather, to give me some shine. All right. And then just using a basic black eyeshadow on the outer edge, popping this in to give me a little bit smoke. Because there's levels to this smoky eye situation. And just being careful to put this on the outer edge and blending as we go. Okay? So I'm going back in now with my fluffy blending brush and working this color in so that everything makes sense. And then sometimes I take a little bit of a dark brown shadow mixed with the black. And a little basic black eyeliner. This one is from NYX. The black liner down low. And a little bit in the upper rim of my eye. We call that tight lining. I normally just close my eyes over it. For a little more drama, because why not? And mascara, I'm using Scandal Eyes by Rimmel. And this is gonna go on the bottom lashes. And since right now we have no lashes on top, I'm gonna pop some on. We're almost there, folks. Almost there. All right. So eyeshadow is done, liner. Before we do our lashes, I'm gonna put a little liquid on top. So liquid matte black in NYX or NYX. Is it NYX or NYX? Y'all let me know what it is, because I always go back and forth. Taking a little bit of this right on top. Just close to my lash line. Kind of creating a bed for my lashes. Now, if I'm gonna choose between a wing or no wing, 9 times out of 10, I'm picking a wing, baby. Fly me to the moon, okay? There we are.
As my granny would say, you're gonna catch a cold in your bowl. So, that being said, I'm wearing a hat. As I'm making beautiful girl more beautiful. Yeah. I was like, hey, are you beautiful girl? And I'm like, wait a second, she has a name. But everyone's in character now, so, right? You know.
All right, now to my favorite part, because I have none right now. Lashes. Today I am using Huda Beauty Lashes, Jade number 13. This is my first time using these, so y'all are gonna get the inside scoop about how these look. I usually like to use Samantha number 7s. Those are a great kind of natural everyday lash for me, but lashes are kind of like never one size fits all and everyone has their favorite. What may be everyday for me may not be everyday for you. But for me, my philosophy is the bigger the lash, the closer to God. Just saying. All right, so I use a couple different lash glues. The one I can get my hand on today is Duo, which is a pretty popular one in lots of drugstores all over. It's a latex-based adhesive, so gals, if you have a latex allergy, just beware. I usually use a tweezer on myself. It's always weird putting it on your own self. How many of you have done your entire face like I did your liner, did your shadow, and then you went to put a lash on and it jacked the whole thing up, you know? So try to wait till the glue's a little tacky.
After being out on set for 14 hours, look at me with my stuff. The best time is home time.
What's up, Mom?
What's up? Hi. Did you miss me?
Oh, yeah, they missed you.
Mommy.
Hi.
That's
You
not
got my
ours,
mail? Is that our mail? Rowie?
No, it is.
That's our mail.
No,
It is
that's not
for
ours.
Brian Matthew.
All right, let's put Brian's stuff back.
How are you?
Missed you guys.
So what's up, Cass?
Hi, Caggy.
Say what's up to Mommy.
Oh.
Now you want to hold a mirror kind of like I'm doing and look down and pop that lash right on top. And you can use your tweezer to help guide it. Okay? And sometimes they're stubborn, but don't be alarmed. You kind of use your finger if you need to press that on a little bit better. And the glue is white, but it dries clear, so no worries if you see a little glue. They also have the duo in dark, which is nice because it dries black. And same technique. So we're going in now. You let that lash glue sit for a little bit. We use a coat of mascara on top of these anyway, once I'm done, just to make sure that they're nicely blended with my natural lash. All right, and I use my lashes a couple times too. I'll peel off that old glue, baby, and usually by the second or third time that I put the lashes on, it's like they already know my eye, so they pop right on.
I look up.
Little mascara, just to kind of blend them, making sure it's the perfect marriage between my natural lash and the lashes. The jades. Lastly, my lip. Probably the second favorite part for me next to the lash. Today, using a dark brown lip pencil. This is from the debated NYX or NYX, whatever. Going for a dark brown. I'm so ghetto right now because this needs to be sharpened so bad, and I'm slicing up my lip almost just for y'all because I needed to find my pencil sharpener. Pain is beauty. There we are. So I don't like when my liner looks too harsh. I like to kind of blend it a little bit in. But that won't really matter because I'm also using today as my lipstick Dose of Color, and this is Cork, which is one of my favorite matte browns. Just a beautiful, not too dark, matte liquid lipstick in brown. And I'll let that dry for a moment. Sometimes if I want a little pop of the shine right in the center once this dries, I put down my Huda Beauty, and this one is called Ritzy. Not all over because it's super shiny, but I pop a little bit right in the center of the lip. Huh. Done! 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 That was a little quickie for y'all. Comment below and let me know what else you'd like to see so I can get this beauty content in motion for y'all. Okay, KK?
Okay.
So I wanted to always be prepared for different things because I would.
Jackson,
Guys, seriously? There's so many snacks downstairs, and didn't you just have a snack before I started, guys?
No.
Of course you did.
No.
You want another
All right,
snack? All right.
I'll make you something.
I had lunch.
What? You had lunch, but that was like 30 minutes ago, maybe?
No, 2 hours.
No, Cass, get from back there.
It could not
There's
have been
equipment
2
back there.
hours.
Get from
Yes,
back there.
Mommy, I ate lunch at
Jackson,
1:17.
I don't care when you ate. Let me say
1:17.
Let me explain something to you.
And
Down
now-
to the minute.
Hey,
And now
hey,
you
everybody,
better know.
everybody,
Okay.
quiet.
All right, guys.
If you don't leave, you will not eat for the rest of your life. Okay?
What? Love you guys.
No, we don't love you right now. Go, finish. I will
Give me
love
10
you
more
when you're done.
minutes.
Come on,
Oh,
stop.
Lord.
You're engaging
And close
them.
my
The
door.
problem is you're engaging.
I'm hungry too. I didn't eat.
DeVal.
Don't
How am I
turn this on
engaging
me.
them? But you
Don't
can't
turn
just
this
throw
on
them
me.
away like that. They are kids.
They're not thrown away. They downstairs. Jeez, can you focus?
I've literally become the snack hoe.
I'm done.
I'm like the snack hoe. I just like, I just want a snack. Everybody want a snack.
When you're done-
Everybody wants
when you're
snacks.
done, hit the record.
The kids want snacks. DeVal wants snacks. Everybody wants snacks.
Who wants snacks?
I'm exhausted. It's quiet though. I might just take a nap. I think I'm just gonna take a nap. Y'all wouldn't mind if I go take a nap, right? Might just go take a nap. You know?
Babe, where's the barbecue sauce?
In the bottom cupboard by the oven. I'm gonna just take a
In
nap.
the bottom, covered by the oven, Jackson.
You coming back or Chef?
Are you done?
I was gonna take a nap.
Can you play too much?
All right, come on, let's go. Hurry up, let's finish it. Keep going again. If you want to see this makeup tutorial with no interruptions, click right here. Yo, shut up, DeVal.
I ain't signed up for all of this, Josh.